High school student Tara Carpenter is at home alone and messaging her friend Amber Freeman 25 years after Billy Loomis and Stu Macher terrorized the community of Woodsboro. When Tara answers the landline when it calls, she is greeted by a sadistic caller who demands that she answer horror trivia by putting Amber's life in danger. When Tara answers a question incorrectly, Ghostface enters the home and attacks her, breaking her leg and stabbing her numerous times. Tara manages to survive the attack, but is left with serious injuries. Wes Hicks, a friend and classmate of Tara's, tells Sam Carpenter, her elder sister, about the assault. Sam visits Tara in the hospital and offers to stay till she gets better while she makes her way back to Woodsboro with her lover Richie. Amber, Chad and Mindy Meeks Martin, Liv McKenzie, and the rest of their friend group are rounded up by Wes' mother, Sheriff Judy Hicks, for questioning. Richie spends the most of his time visiting Sam in the hospital learning about the Stab franchise on YouTube because he is ignorant of it or its relation to Woodsboro. By doing this, he can better understand the potential rules the killer would adhere to, while another video reveals Kirby Reed survived the events 11 years earlier. Sam, who experiences Billy Loomis hallucinations, reveals to Tara that he is her biological father and the reason why she left town and became distant from her when they cross paths with Ghostface in the hospital cafeteria. Ghostface tortures and kills Vince Schneider, Liv's summertime fling, outside a bar. Dewey Riley, a recluse who has been unhappy since his divorce from Gale Weathers, is visited by Sam and Richie. He refuses their request for assistance in apprehending the murderer and forces the two to leave. Dewey changes his mind and decides to join the teenagers at Mindy and Chad's house after speaking with Sidney Prescott and Gale. Vince is revealed to be Stu's nephew as they work to determine how the killer and Sam are related. Sam is accused of being the murderer and escapes angrily after learning that all three attacks targeted individuals who were somehow connected to the original perpetrators. Sam and Dewey arrive on the scene, and as they do, Dewey reunites with Gale. In the meantime, Ghostface kills Judy and her son. When Sam and Dewey learn that Tara is in danger, they dash to the hospital. Ghostface attacks Tara and Richie at the hospital before being fatally shot, it appears, by an arriving Dewey. While Dewey stays behind to try to put Ghostface to death and ends up killing himself, Sam, Tara, and Richie flee. After learning of Dewey's passing, Sidney heads back to Woodsboro and meets Gale at the hospital. Sam is asked by Sidney to assist in catching the murderer, but she declines and decides to leave Woodsboro with Tara and Richie. After attaching a tracker to Richie's vehicle, Sidney follows the group to Amber's, which turns out to be Stu's former residence, with Gale. Liv tries to have sex with Chad as the celebration celebrating Wes' life is going on, but he declines and accuses her of being the murderer. He later goes outside to apologize, where he is apparently slain by Ghostface. Sam steps in and successfully repels Ghostface as Mindy and the other victims are attacked. As the group accuses one another of being Ghostface, Amber kills Liv with a gun and admits that she was the murderer. The remainder of the group disperses. Amber pretends to be hurt when Gale and Sidney come, but neither of them fall for her act, so Amber shoots Gale before scurrying back inside. Sydney chases after her and looks for Amber, who has now called her while posing as Ghostface, but she's had enough and hangs up, claiming to be bored. As she looks around the home, Sydney accidentally hurts Richie, who is hiding. Ghostface suddenly tackles Richie before hurling Sydney and himself over the handrail and onto the first floor. Sam is shocked to see Richie still alive, but after he stabs Tara, he admits to being Tara's attacker and Amber's helper. Sam, Sydney, and Gale are led into the kitchen by Amber and Richie, who identify themselves as obsessively devoted fans of the Stab series. They express their disappointment with the series' direction and their desire to revive the series with a new killing spree in order to serve as source material and defend fans from the toxic fandom label they believe they have been unfairly assigned. After being untied by Sam, Amber attempts to recover the captured Tara but is attacked by her. This causes Richie to become briefly distracted so that Sydney and Sam can overcome him. Gale and Sydney battle Amber, and Sam battles Richie. Amber is shot by Gale, who then causes her to fall on the stove and catch fire before being killed by Tara. Sam appears to be defenseless while Richie teases her, but she pulls out Amber's knife and stabs Richie numerous times in the chest and neck before firing Richie's revolver at him. Sam praises Sydney and Gale for their assistance as Tara and the Meeks twins, who actually survived, are escorted to the hospital. Gale intends to write a moving ode to Dewey instead of reporting on the recent killings in order to prevent the perpetrators from becoming famous. Numerous news organizations arrive at the residence and begin covering the murders.